Hey everybody, this is Marsilio, and thanks for your interest in my take in the markets, where I combine technicals and timing for the win. So last week, came into the week thinking some bearish bias, but said that S&P level 54, 51 would decide. This is a weekly chart, and it's kind of still borderline. I'll get more into that later. But looking at the daily view, the level cleared on Monday very clearly, and then it acted as support a couple times, and other confirming indicators are not yet screaming trouble. But there was notable rotation last week. The levels that did see some selling, semiconductors, look at that, exact on yearly R3. I have to say, I have seen this before, where an R3 level will stop a parabolic rally or a crash. And this is yearly R3 on SMH. And that got tagged and sharp reversal along with NVIDIA, of course. And then another interesting level that was contributing to index decline was Apple. It's yearly R1, half year R2 combo. That's, yeah, just showing the yearly R1 there. Another level very near exact, influencing indexes, of course. So back to the review, thought we'd get some pullback, but above the S&P level that was nixing it. But that said, there were, notable move in semiconductors that was highlighted in one of the notes. I did also like the idea of silver, which did have a one really amazing day, and then gave it all back due to strength in the dollar, and that's something else I'll be watching in the current week. So in terms of a trade, let's see, I'm gonna get to this. This was a tough one because below this monthly pivot several days, I entered based on a reversal bar setup and my biases, then jumped up, but chasing that gap was a little painful on the next day to come back and immediately break that pivot. So that was just a tough one. Those MACD did not actually confirm on the daily. So it was really anticipatory on a reversal bar setup from daily 50. But yeah, tough one. This is the second time silver's been whacked down from seemingly strong bars. So I'm not going to be too eager to chase this again, although maybe the third time is a charm. We'll keep an eye on it. So some other charts for the coming week. VIX, very reliable, is just not indicating any trouble, maintaining below its June pivot throughout. But MACD, my tweaked MACD setting is up, and sometimes this is the second one. A jump up that above that level would change relatively quickly. The other things that I like to watch are the ETF variations. SVXY could have broken its yearly R1 5091, but didn't. Same VIX could have broken its June pivot, but didn't. And then VXX is lifting from its yearly S1 level, 1097, but did not get far. So really, the 2 out of 3 are indicating no sweat. The other smart money tell that I like to watch is high yield bonds, and that actually, could have. It's a little bit below this quarter 2 pivot, but poking above on Friday. So just not indicating a lot of trouble, despite the move in the dollar, which is pressuring somewhat and indicative of a few different things. Economic strength, the United States, Jay Powell more hawkish than other central banks. Dollar's up against the level. It's yearly R1. So if that clears in the coming week, I do think we should see some emphasis on some kind of safe haven. But what is a safe haven these days when bonds are so much trouble? If commodities will be pressured by higher dollars. So if the dollar gets the bid, that will pressure the commodities, pressure some international names. Probably some of the tech favorites remain strong, although I'd still rather see a little bit more rebalancing in the red hot semiconductors and some other tech names that could drop. I already recommended or suggest the idea of a small cap short, and that's been working a little, not a huge move. This may come down further, but if we're seeing the rotation theme, institutions are going to buy value and they're going to sell what's been up the most and buy what is in their under allocated. And so, you know, maybe IWM doesn't have that much more to drop. That's certainly possible, where it does seem that on a sector basis, XLK, the tech sector, could drop more along with semis, though I still think there's going to be some favorite names that do have a chance of a rally, especially Monday. I mean, Amazon looks ready to pop and hasn't done anything in months, so that could have a nice move on Monday if Monday's strong again. And Microsoft, no one's gonna, you know, that's pushing highs and not up a lot, not compared to the semiconductors overall from previous highs. So say more about a crypto setup soon. So let's see, that was chart review. The other thing that would be a good setup if it doesn't have a huge gap down, especially with further dollar strength, that's going to pressure international names, and China fading under the pivot level here, and a lot of falling moving averages, falling 10, falling 20. The 325 is falling. So this, I think, you know, just quick scan. I'm not tracking these as carefully as I used to, but dollar up. This looks like a good setup for possibly options, because I do think there's going to be some down pressure into Wednesday, Thursday. And if that coincides with dollar strength, then these international indexes should get hit. Some of them already moved quite a lot. Some of them I'm not expecting a big move, but it looks like China could drop further. So onto a cryptos. I know everyone's interested in that. Here is Ethereum now. Ethereum was the lone holdout above daily 50, although breaking now. And this is another one that, you know, if taking along, it would be the most attractive option, but certainly a break of D50, and that's kind of off the table. And see, it was been below its June pivot, slight break on Thursday, kind of resistance on Friday, despite the D50 hold, and then resistance Saturday, and now turning in resistance again. So nothing doing on cryptos. If anything, I highlighted days ago that Tweak MACD was negative on all of them. Here's middle of the week, June 12th, Bitcoin, Ethereum already down, Tweak MACD, BNB around the same time as Bitcoin. And then the weaker coins are always the easier shorts below from earlier, about a week prior to that. Here's Doge trending down below. Below 200 moving average even, and Sol also breaking 200 today. So crypto's remaining weak as per my forecast that suggested negative data starting from the 17th, and since then going straight down. So I don't think it's time to be aggressive on the long side. That said, a couple sources that I trust are indicating possible, I'll mention this in Twitter, a possible more bullish scenario for cryptos. And, you know, if institutions are going to buy value this week, they could come in and sell, you know, maybe I'll leave the door open, but if we're going to see that, it's going to be on Ethereum, and that daily 50's got to hold, and then it needs to rally above the 35.15 level. Otherwise, I'm not touching it. So those are the setups I'm watching for. At the end of the day, down pressure into Wednesday, Thursday is my preferred scenario. What will drop the most is the question. Seems like we're getting rotation more than outright drop. And so that would imply more pain for semiconductors, NVIDIA, maybe IWM, more stable. And international names will also drop if dollar strength continues, especially above that 105 and change level. That let's see, 10, yeah, almost 106, 105.92. So quick video this time. One last thing that I'm excited to announce. I've got a script. You know, the moon phases scripts are available on TradingView, and those are free. But The quarters take some work. It's very complicated math to figure out the quarters with any amount of precision. And I worked with some help actually to get a good script. So this one is something you can put on moon quarters on any asset. And there's actually a huge difference in not just the phases, but the actual quarters is where the real edge lies. And if you're more interested in this, did a whole full-length webinar on the data, got great review from one participant. And I'll be posting more information on that soon. It's now available on the shop in my new website. Talks about Bitcoin, but this is a long-standing edge, even on S&P for many years of data. So watch for that announcement on Monday. All right, thanks a lot. Good luck for the coming week. And yeah, thank you for taking some time out of your weekend for my take on the markets.